Hi everybody, I'm Katrina Ayers and you're watching Awesome Teacher Nation TV, the place to be to get sanity-saving, positive teaching strategies, hints, and tips. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how you can save a ton of time grading student work.
But first, let's take a look at this week's featured teacher resource. 5-minute classroom management hints. 37 proven ways to manage your classroom and keep your sanity. When you want your classroom management advice short, sweet, and to the point, munch on these 37 bites of essential, gotta have information for running your classroom successfully. Get yours now at Amazon.com. The sanity you save could be your own.
For a lot of classroom teachers, correcting and grading student work takes up way too much of your time that you could be spending being present with your family and friends. By present, I mean, hey, you're there on the couch, but if you're busy grading papers, are you really there with your friends and family like you'd really like to be? So if you're ready to stop hauling that big bag full of student work home with you every night, today's hint is for you. Back when I used to struggle with classroom management all the time, I wasted a ton of time in the classroom, and that time was wasted with student arguments, power struggles, waiting for the class to be quiet, and that kind of stuff. But then once I got the classroom management stuff handled, I had another problem. And that problem was the students were turning in so much work that I just couldn't process it. I would get all these assignments and all this great work, but I wasn't really able to take care of it. And maybe you felt the same way. When you take a look at this ginormous pile of student work and you look at it and you can see your weekend going away and you think, it's going to take me hours to get through all that paperwork. And so you tell yourself a story that's not really true. And that story is that you're going to have 2 or 3 hours set aside in one block just to take care of all that student work. And it's not really true. So what I'm going to teach you today is a method that I use. It's simple and it helps the students stay organized. It helps me stay organized. And it gives me a way that I can use those small bites of time that I have throughout the day to get my student work, my student correcting all done so that I can go home without a big bag of student work and be present with my family and my friends. What I like to do is use spiral notebooks or some other kind of a journal or binder. So just a simple spiral notebook like this, which you can get right now during back to school time for really inexpensive. And what I suggest that you do is have a different binder or different spiral for every different color for each subject. So this is if you're an elementary teacher, you would have, the orange one would be math and the purple one would be science, and maybe you'd have a blue one for language arts, and you get the idea. Now, if you're a secondary teacher, what I would do is have the red is period 1, the blue is period 2, and so on like that. Now see right there, that saved you a ton of time because we all know that the students don't always turn in their work to the right basket. And so you end up sorting it out and trying to find out, well, now what goes with period 1? What's a math paper? What's a social studies paper? And that alone takes a ton of time, especially if you have large class sizes. So if your students are not working directly in the spiral binder, but instead they're doing a worksheet or some kind of an assignment that's on a separate piece of paper, then all you have to do is have them open to the next available page in their spiral notebook, and then they just glue it in with a glue stick. So they put it sideways like this, use the handy glue stick, glue it on there, and put it in their binder like this, and then fold it up. The advantage of doing this is that all of the work that the students are doing is in one place. Now, I know a lot of teachers like to use folders, but what I've noticed with folders is that some of the students aren't very good at putting the putting the assignments into the folders, and they get all crumpled up and they get all torn and ripped, and it's easy for them to fall out of the binders and get lost. If you have them glue in the assignment, it's right there in one place, and anytime you want to see how the student is doing, you can grab their spiral and you can see from day one how things have been going for that student. Next, let's talk about saving time on actual correcting. First of all, let me let you in on a secret. You may already know this, but you do not have to correct every single piece of paper and every single assignment that your students do. A lot of what students do in class is designed to help them to develop a skill and to practice. And what we really need to know is, did the student do that activity? Did they get the practice that we wanted them to have around that skill? So this is one reason I really like the spiral binders, because they lay flat. So what you want to do is develop a system that your students open up the work to the page where they did that assignment, and then they set it on their desk. And they set it out there on their desk, open to the correct page while they're doing something else, so that you or somebody else can come around and check it while they're working on their warm-up assignment, or while they're doing their silent reading, or while they're having even a group discussion. So you also do not have to be the person who checks it, because all you need to do is just make sure it's done. There are going to be some assignments that you're going to want to actually correct. So let's say that you're teaching math and the students are working on an assignment, and you want to see if they actually are getting the answers correct and if they understand this concept or not. Here's what I like to do. I like to say, all right, this week I'm going to look at assignment number 12. And I have 1/4 of my class turn in assignment 12 in their spirals and put it on my desk. What this does for me is it keeps me from thinking, oh my gosh, I have to grade 30 spiral binders and they're like this tall, and it just gets, I'm hiding behind them. I can't see my way out because I'm behind all these papers. Instead, I have 6 or 7, and they're all open and ready for me to grade right away. So anytime I have a minute or two, I can look down and say, oops, nope, that's wrong, and check it off, or, oh, yep, they got that right, throughout the day. And then when I finish correcting the one assignment on that page, I just simply close the spiral and set it to the side. That way, I'm ready anytime I have a minute or two, and I can use those teeny little cracks of time to get things done instead of having to take a whole 3-hour block. So I recommend having the students turn in their work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then that way I know that I don't have any grading that I have to do on Friday. And if I kind of got behind a little bit, I can catch up on Friday. To me, this works great, saves tons of time, keeps me feeling more encouraged about the correcting and feeling less overwhelmed. And now, go create a great day for yourself and your students.
Well, that's our show. Thanks for watching. If you want more sanity boosting classroom management hints like this one, please subscribe to our channel. And if you'd like access to even more information and resources for classroom teachers, come on over to positiveteachingstrategies.com and join our tribe. You'll get a weekly sanity boost, access to the Awesome Teacher Nation resources library, and more. You are an awesome teacher, and I appreciate everything you do for your students. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you next time on Awesome Teacher Nation TV.